Hey everybody, Real Estate Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Got a great story out of Newsweek. It is about the Airbnb collapse. There are people around the country that are heavily involved in Airbnbs, and this is one aspect of real estate that did not exist in 2005, 2006. To think back then that there would be in the future a bunch of people, literally hundreds of thousands of investors around the country that would go out and rent out rooms, rent out their own home, then get so wild as to start buying up homes around the country and turn them into mini hotels. We would have thought you were nuts if you told us that. I mean, honestly, I would be one of them. I actually saw somebody, a family that were very well off, a chiropractor, and his wife start renting out their beautiful custom home, and they would go and stay in the hotel for the weekend because they were making enough 2 weekends a month to pay their mortgage, and it was worth it to them. It absolutely blew me away. They would uproot their children. Literally, everybody would go pack into a motel and rent out their house in wine country. Absolutely blew me away. Well, now we're seeing the reverse, the flip side of all of that happening. Let's call it the flippening. And this is something that I talk about in the real estate crash course, what you want to be prepared for, one of the signs, but really how you want to absolutely dominate and take advantage of this downturn, because there are going to be so many shade tree investors that haven't been invested in real estate much before this, and especially not in this type of aspect of real estate, literally like the mini motels, that are going to start panicking. And we're starting to see that all around the country, especially in Florida, where a lot of these homes have hit the market fully furnished and they don't even know how to market them properly. They're literally marketing these homes in a way, these ex Airbnbs, to where they're literally showing you this is a failed experiment, but hey, why not buy ours and try it yourself? Maybe you can make a win of it. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Check this out of Newsweek. Airbnb revenue collapse data sparks housing market crash fears. Now guys, if you've been listening to the Ninja for a while, you know that this is nothing new, okay? It says here, an unfolding revenue crisis for Airbnb, the popular service that lets property owners rent out their spaces to travelers, could trigger a housing market crash on par with the 2008 subprime crisis. It's not going to be on par. It's going to be much bigger, guys. In some cities, according to one real estate expert, revenues for the San Francisco-based company have dropped by nearly 50% in cities like Phoenix, Arizona, and Austin, Texas, suggesting that the company might be facing an unfolding crisis. This is according to recent data from All the Rooms comparing Airbnb profits from May of 2022 to May of 2023, though other sources contest these numbers. Economist Jamie Lang, Senior Vice President at AirDNA, a company which tracks performance and monitors trends in short-term rentals, argued that the data from All the Rooms is inaccurate, and that while revenues are down for Airbnb in 2023, they have not dropped to a level below 40%, but by just above 3%. Now, of course, they're in crisis mode right now because they want to keep, they have to consider their shareholders. And if their shareholders think that there's, where there's smoke, there's fire, they're going to start liquidating their shares, causing ultimately the price to collapse, the valuation of Airbnb to collapse. And this would be very, very bad for the company, right? Especially trying to move forward and raise money. Now, a tweet from Jamie Lang said, now this is him addressing a viral tweet about STR data. Let's get some facts straight. There is not a collapse in RevPal happening. It is down in is it down in 2023? Yes. Is it down 40%? No. Okay, so they are literally throwing out these tweets trying to counteract the other tweets about the company. He says here, I've pulled the numbers from AirDNA's data set, mirroring the analytics done by @NickGorelli1. What do we find? Here's the average. And he was out there showing the drop was not as bad, but talking about what he's referring to. Nick Gorelli, the Airbnb collapse is real. This is a tweet he put out. Revenues are down nearly 50% in cities like Phoenix and Austin. Watch out for a wave of forced selling from Airbnb owners later this year in the areas hit hardest by the revenue collapse. And he gives a chart right here. Give credit where credit is due. Here's Nick right up here, and the cities that he lists, right? And really focus on Phoenix and Austin, which were down 47.2% and 46.1%, 46.1%, I can't even talk this morning, respectively. This is true because I do believe Nick's right onto this because have seen personally the amounts that Airbnb, these hosts have been asking have been significantly dropping over the last year. On top of that, I have asked people that have Airbnbs, what do they like? What's going on? There's some real estate agents that own them in my hometown that I know, and they have said that it is drastically different. They don't want to come right out and say everything's looking gloomy because they're getting nervous. And you could tell when they answer these questions, you could tell by the look on their face. They're not liking what they see. They didn't imagine it to be this short-lived, and they didn't buy these properties properly to deal with such a large downturn. Now, it says here, on the other hand, Nick Drelli, CEO of Reventure Consulting, he's got a YouTube channel, great channel, a company that offers advice to home buyers and real estate investors, believe that based on all the rooms data, the Airbnb collapse is real. Revenues are down nearly 50% in cities like Phoenix and Austin. Drelli tweeted on Tuesday while sharing the data on revenues. He added that the collapse in revenue for Airbnb might force homebuyers who had put their homes on its marketplace to sell their properties and trigger a housing bust in some cities. Now, I could not agree with him more. See, the thing is that once people start to exit, and I'm gonna explain this to most people to understand, Airbnb owners or anyone that does short-term rentals, very few of them do it by themselves. So many people gravitate to other people that are interested in the same industries or investments that they're interested in. Let me give you an example. When I was buying and selling homes in the early 2000s, flipping them, I was searching out the friendship and relationships of other real estate investors. Why? Because I wanted to glean information from them. I wanted to share my information from them. Together, we're stronger, we're smarter, right? We're more well equipped. And so I know a lot of Airbnb owners that know others and they share information. And when they start to sell, or trust me, even if they're working by themselves, they're looking at other listings for sale. They are constantly watching the real estate market. They're looking for the pulse of the market. And when they start to see Airbnb listings go on the market for sale, they start to get nervous. And like Nick's saying, when that happens, it turns into almost a cascade effect and everything starts to get a little nutty. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. This is a big deal and I think you need to be prepared because this is something you can take advantage of. I'll throw some more 20% links down, the discount links, 80% off links, which makes the course $199. The actionable, easy steps that you can take right now to prepare to not only buy the dream house that you've always wanted when this crash happens, but also pick up 10 or 20 rentals at the same time. All right, guys, that being said, the Real Estate Ninja is out. How do I turn this darn thing off?